presidency?
Hey, you want to know what a dream is? A Kasich presidency.
That question touches me because
It touches
you're
me because
23 years old.
that's so
and you're gonna find not
stereotypical.
only the American dream, but your own dreams.
I don't have
if
any
you
dreams,
get down,
Kasich.
Because you're made special.
Oh, thanks.
Don't ever forget that.
Oh.
There's something that you can do that nobody else can do. No one's ever done and no one will ever do again.
Yes?
So those are big dreams in and of themselves.
No,
In
what
terms
are
of
those
our
dreams,
country,
Kasich? I don't...
We absolutely have to get this economy going.
I don't
This
know.
is the worst recovery post-World War II out of a recession.
Wait, what are my dreams, Kasich? You said I had the...
There's all kinds of things that are happening out here that are keeping us from doing well. We are now up in our state over 400,000 jobs.
Oops.
Okay, from down 350,000. But the entire time I've been working as governor, the wind has been in my face, never at my back.
What did he
So
say?
I can get this all straightened out down there using the formula.
The wind has been at my what?
Of Washington. You know, I was budget chairman. I don't know if you knew this, but I got the federal budget balance working with a group of people. We paid down $500 billion of the national debt, and the economy was roaring.
Ohio.
And then, frankly, the Republicans spent all the money. And then we went back into the hole, and then we had the crisis on Wall Street. And
It's the name of my new band.
We can get back up again and grow. Now,
Crisis
for you,
on Wall Street.
I mean, I'm
It's like
worried
Exile
about
on
the
Main
student
Street.
debt as well. You know what's really interesting, and I don't know what the cost
Ha
are at
ha,
Liberty,
music jokes.
but I was in Michigan a week ago. You know that you could go to college for $6,000 in 2 years and transfer all those credits to a 4-year school? You could cut your college costs in half.
But I'm a
And that's
master's
one thing.
student.
Secondly, you ought to be able to restructure your loan so those interest rates reflect where the market is today.
But
And
governor,
maybe we can come up with
master's
some
degree. There's no community
service
master.
projects
Oh.
where you can help improve the community and work some of that debt off. But here's another thing that you need to think about. What year are you?
But Mr. Kasich, I hate the community.
Well, you're a graduate student.
May 14th.
Yeah.
You didn't even pay attention to the
a lot of it is
question.
Connected. First of all, you need to go on Ohio Means Jobs, the website, because you will see a list of all
Oh,
the
wait, you're a
job
graduate student,
openings
that's
in
right.
Ohio, and I think we're up to like 200,000 jobs, something like that, of openings that are not filled. So you need to scan that. Ohio Means Jobs. Every state ought to have Ohio Means Jobs. And frankly,
Kasich, you're
early
such
on
a
in our education,
post.
we ought to be educating you based on what you
You're
want
listening
to do
to
with
a
your life,
Kasich town
connected
hall.
to the jobs that are
I don't know
available, so you
why.
can actually see
I was watching
what it is you might want
news
to do and how you
because
get
that's what
one
you
of
do
those
when you're
jobs.
old.
And that's what I think is important, connecting education to jobs. And we're forcing all of our universities to work with students on that. And we also are starting that in the K through 12
We are
system,
forcing
so that
our
people can
universities.
begin to grow up and see what it is they might want to do and what it takes to get one, what they pay. It's all of it there on Ohio Means Jobs. That is the kind of a site that I would argue should be available all across America so people can get
But
education connected to jobs,
we know
training
it-
connected to jobs. But don't lose faith.
That's not like
We'll
a
get this
radical
economy
thing.
going.
There are
But also
websites to get
remember,
jobs
you know, you keep the
everywhere
faith
in like
and
every
know that
university
you will find
on the
your way
planet.
in this world. Just search for what it is you're supposed to do.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Anna, thank you for your question. A quick break and more with Governor John Kasich right after this.
If I knew what I was supposed to do... Oh, forget it. Yes, Kasich's still running. He says because he thinks he can still get the nomination, but you know he can't. He just exists to siphon off votes from Trump so they can get a contested convention, and then they could nominate somebody else. And it's not going to be Kasich. I don't know why he's even there, but whatever.
You can have the one-note wonders, the flip-floppers, the hacks. Give me the gutsy, the grown-ups, the honest. Give me the ones with fire in their bellies, the ones who tell you when to
No, I think
those
Kasich
that
will
can
probably
take
win Ohio.
and cheer non-stop.
America's conversation starts here.
I wouldn't...
Joe on MSNBC.
I'm not like
Unlike
super
anything
bullish
else
on Trump there.
television, sets the agenda for the day's news. An important wake-up call for political and media leaders. Thinking viewers' choice. Something revolutionary. Morning Joe, weekday mornings on MSNBC.
Go little combo, go. Oh no, I forgot the
When
purple.
people tell us, no,
We're not going to build it. No, no, no. America doesn't have any greatness in its future. America has small things in its future. Other countries have great things in their future. China can afford it. We can't.
America
We're wrong.
sucks.
And it doesn't feel right.
I mean,
It doesn't sound right to us because that's not what America is.
The human cost of all the people in our country who don't have access to health insurance, who through no fault of their own have a pre-existing condition, have a terrible illness, have been laid off, that human stake becomes abstract. But that's what it's
human
about.
stakes.
That's why we want to have healthcare, right? Is because our individual fellow citizens are suffering needlessly without it.
It's a big world filled with interesting people.
Yeah.
Explore.
Trump stakes are people.
The new MSNBC.com.
You and I must decide what part we're going to play, not in the struggles that have been fought and won, but in today's struggle. The fight to stop those efforts to
I
suppress
lost.
voting rights.
Did I lose?
The
Let me see.
dealing with economic and income inequality.
Yeah, it did.
Let us not act
Well,
like the civil rights
yes, it did.
movement was something back then. There's still a civil rights movement needed now.
I don't even know why I'm watching the Kasich town hall because I don't particularly care. Unfortunately. Got mud on your face, you think disgrace. Oh. Different song.
You feel kind of vulnerable now, don't
I'm
you?
still amazed they're premiering
Weekend evenings on
Lockup.
MSNBC.
like God. I used to watch Lockup after I watched To Catch a Predator.
Use patriotism and our troops as a pawn in their political argument. The troops aren't red and blue. They're not black and white. They're not male and female. They are Americans.
They're
When they
robots
put
and
their
drones.
uniforms on, they are Americans. That's a fact.
We're back with more of MSNBC's special town hall event with Ohio Governor John Kasich. We are in Lima, Ohio.
Yo,
and
check
glad
this
to
combo
be here
out,
at the
son.
Lime Pallet Company. We're going to get to some more questions.
Oh no, I forgot another
I want
purple.
to talk to you a little bit more about the state
Man,
of
that
the
was
race.
gonna be
As you
really,
know,
really
There are
good.
conservatives, there are Republicans who believe
It was gonna be like
we must
9.
first stop Trump. That's all that matters here. I'm going to read
Yeah, I
some
feel
from the
fine.
National Review a couple of weeks ago. Every
I
vote
feel
you, Governor Kasich,
funny
takes
and
to
topical
approve a
and
bill
not
is a vote
like
toward
killing
embracing
myself, so
Planned
that's
Parenthood
improvement.
and cozying up to Vladimir Putin. It's a vote away from sensible judicial
Putin.
nominations or a rational foreign policy.
It's
It's
like
a vote
fart.
toward the potential destruction of a Republican Party that is America's last political hope of protecting life, religious liberty, and national security.
What about the pursuit of happiness?
Pretty dire,
Did
doesn't
we
it?
forget
What
about
do you
that?
make of that argument that some people think that the three of you are splitting up the vote and clearing the path
Forgot
for
about
Donald
that
Trump
bit.
to become the nominee?
Well, Willie, this isn't a parlor game, and we're not picking this class president. We're picking the president of the United States.
We're picking the president
I'm
of the
running
biggest
in this
class.
Because I believe that I can bring the country together and solve these problems, and frankly, transfer power to people here where they can be strengthened.
Or maybe
and
sell a
also
lot of
to,
books, at
To
least.
restore some hope. I mean, I go places. I was
about
in
all
this
I've
little
got.
town, Palatine, Illinois. There must have been almost 2,000 people in there. They were working folks. It reminded me of being home in McKees Rocks. They were so intense about.
What small town
you
can
know,
I
you
name
can
drop
do this.
next?
I mean, sometimes
Maybe
those
yours.
people give me more energy than I
Kasich
can get
coming to a
myself.
White House near you.
And you don't make these kinds of
Oh,
deals
crap.
or whatever. I'm not out to stop anybody. I'm out to become president of the United States, and we have a
But
long
you're
way to go.
not.
And starting with a good win in Ohio, we're off to the races. And I'm
But
going to get
you're
to that convention.
not.
Maybe. You never know what happens in this business, by the way. What's true today is not true tomorrow. So, look.
And what's
I don't
true
pay
never
much
is that you're going to be
attention all
president.
these, you know, pundits and all. Get in the arena, my friend. Get in there, and then let me know when you're in the arena. It's
got lions and stuff.
Okay?
No
it's
thanks.
easy to have an opinion when you're sitting like 50 rows up, you know, in the end zone somewhere. Well, I'll tell you what that quarterback should do. Go play football, then give me a call. Okay?
Sir, is this real football or is that a metaphor?
Is a Republican here in Ohio. Has a question for you, Chandler.
Hello, Governor. I am currently a junior in high school, and last night on the debate, there was talk about raising the
a retirement age, and as the baby boomers currently come closer to their retirement age, do you believe that slowly raising that age could hopefully?
Do you believe
like,
we
save
should eat
America?
the old?
Well,
Is that
first
part of your
all,
political
I
platform,
said
sir?
last night that there are more 18-year-olds who believe in UFOs than seeing a Social Security check, and somebody today fact-checked me on it. I mean, I don't know, how do you fact-check? But no, we already are raising the retirement age. No, see, the answer is, I'll give you a technical answer since you're at St. John's, right, high school. Okay, you're a smart guy here. So here's what we do.
Thanks.
We currently create the initial benefit.
God, it's like the time I went to buy a car and the salesman's like, "Wow, you're really smart." Like,
which means
you're trying to sell me something, aren't you?
Lower. For those who have been wealthy through their lives, they'll get Social Security. It just
Governor Kasich, are you?
For those who definitely
Are you hitting on me?
depend on it, they'll get their full benefit, and the system is fixed forever. Period. End of story. We don't need to do anything else. Got it? Now, in order to get that done,
Wait, I
you're
zoned
gonna
out. What
have
happened?
some Democrats that go along, and there'll be some compromise involved in this, but that fundamentally will get it done. I tried to
By
do
compromise,
this
we mean roadblocks.
before I left the Congress.
And by getting it done, we
everybody
mean
ran away
not.
because they didn't want to, get themselves out there on Social Security. So I better just ignore it. And now the problem has gotten much worse, but we can fix it. Okay?
Another quick question for you. If you're in the position to appoint a Supreme Court justice, will being for abortion, anti-abortion be a requirement?
We don't have litmus tests. I've appointed over 100 judges, including, fortunately, a woman who serves on the Ohio Supreme Court. All I want to know is
including one
they're going to
woman,
interpret the law.
I think.
That they, they're upstanding people. I mean, if they have a couple peccadillos in the background, I don't really care about that. But at the end of the day, we've appointed conservatives. The voters have, we vote for judges in Ohio. Most of them
I
have
appointed a
won. I mean, I
robot,
haven't
which
checked
I
it all, but they've done
hand-fed
well.
in the
They've
Constitution as
carried
part
out
of its
their
programming,
duties
line by
responsibly.
line in
The one
assembly.
thing I am beginning to ask
It's
some of
literally
the judges,
George
though,
Washington.
is we have a very
GW,
serious problem
it's an AI.
all across the country with drugs. And the one thing we don't want to do, or with people who are nonviolent offenders, let's not put them in the prison next to a murderer, because a judge
Let's put him in a prison
sometimes
next
gets
to a
down the
child
decision,
predator.
well,
There we
am I
go.
going to be labeled soft on crime if I put them in a setting that's better for them, but yet I can be attacked in a campaign? We need to make sure that we're on top of that. So we might ask a question like that, but no litmus test, because where do they start and where do they end?
All right, let's go back to the crowd. Brooklyn has a
I
question.
don't remember
for you,
what the
Brooklyn.
question was,
Hi,
but I don't think that answered it.
I'm Brooklyn. I'm from Delta St. John's, and my question for you is:
I'm Brooklyn.
how do
I'm
you
from
think
Manhattan.
Gives you an advantage in the race, and as possibly president.
Well, look, when you're
What
a
was the
governor,
question?
first of all, I was a legislator for a long time.
Why was he talking over
and
me?
I
Now I
learned
can't
to
hear
not
it.
like executives. Okay, and as an executive, I'll let you finish the sentence. Okay, no, just kidding. President Senate's here.
What?
But in all seriousness, these experiences allow you to understand both sides. What is it that a legislator needs, and what is it?
What
that
are the
an
three
executive
branches
is
of
supposed to
government,
do?
kid? Go.
As an executive, you're held accountable. And young lady, at the end of the day, if we were not growing jobs, if things were really bad, then people
I'm growing
would say
corn.
you
I
failed.
can't grow jobs.
Fortunately,
Soil's
we
no
didn't
good.
fail. I had a good team of people and a good legislature to work with. But there's no substitute for the experience of things happening that just come right out
Candidates,
of the blue.
are you
And let me
mean?
tell
Do you like beans?
I
And
am
are
a
you
much
for
better
or
leader
against the
today
machine?
than I was 5 years ago. There's no question.
Hey man, why is the
I'm
mean
better
bean
today
machine
than I
so
was 4
angry?
years ago. Each year you develop. You know what part of the key is? You have to be calm.
lock. Oh, damn
You
it.
have to be confident. You have to be strong, and you have
And
to
you
make
have to
sure
be
you have a
drunk.
good team. That's what you have to do. And you don't learn to be calm. How old are you?
I'm 16.
I'm 72,
Okay, you're
sir.
16. Are you driving yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Be careful, okay? Now, here's what I want to tell
Anyway,
you.
moving
You're
on.
going to be a much better driver 2 years from now than you are today. And you're going to see things today that are going to get you a little shaky, okay?
Like that time you hit the
Right in
homeless
right-hand
person, but
lane,
we won't
please,
talk
would you?
about that.
Here's the thing. But as you see a lot of things, you're going to become more comfortable behind the wheel. And that's what it's like to be an executive. You can't make excuses in an executive. In other words, the final exam comes,
Yeah.
and you can't say the dog ate my homework. You actually have to take the test, and you get a grade.
Thank you, Brooklyn.
Sir, what's this have to do with driving?
Unfortunately, we're out of time. I have a million more
Wait, what?
questions. I will ask one more that there seems to be a lot of interest about in this room. The Cleveland Browns cut Johnny Manziel today. Was that a good idea?
Well, you know, the people cheered when they told me about it. And look, I mean, here's what I would say. I don't know the guy.
Generic.
But,
I can be
I think
hip
we're all
with the
disappointed he
people
struggled
question.
Like he has, huh? We wish it hadn't happened, but he hasn't seemed to accept personal responsibility. I don't know enough about him
These
other
are
than to
such
say
fluff
that,
questions.
you know, clearly he's got a problem. And he
What do
needs
you
to
think
get
about
on
the
top of
Super
it, and
Bowl?
I hope he does. And
I
wish
think
him all
it's
the best, but
terrific.
just
Yeah,
down to the
woo!
grounds. Now, you didn't bring up LeBron, and let me just say this. They're going to win the title this year.
Really?
I'm going to predict it. Okay?
LeBron's going to win the big game. I will be there with my chips and dip.
Listen, I know all about Stephon Curry. I know all about Klay Thompson. I know all about Draymond Green.
I know about the sport with the balls and the
Cavs.
feet.
7 games. Watch for it, Willie.
Steph Curry born in Akron too, so he could go either way on that. Governor.
I didn't know that. Was he?
Governor,
born?
Governor,
was
please.
indeed. He was indeed.
This-
Good luck on Tuesday,
All right.
sir.
This is going too
Thank
long.
you for the time. We appreciate it. Our thanks to Governor John Kasich.
How is that over already?
Company and owner Tracy Sanchez for hosting us tonight. This is the place for politics on MSNBC. Have a great night.
No. Who am I gonna listen to now?
So thank you for staying with us tonight.
Oh, hey, Rachel Maddow.
This has turned out to be a night that
I don't know if
may
this
go
is
down
live or
history
not.
as one of the darker moments in American major party politics. Here's the context. Here's how I think we got here. And I think we got
I don't know if
here
I'm actually allowed to
by
broadcast this.
deliberate means. I don't think this was an accident.
Probably not.
One of the really important, really intense things that's been going on in our country over the past few years that has mostly been happening outside of big-time electoral politics has been a race issue and a justice issue and a civil rights issue and a public order issue, frankly.
I can't race that well. I don't have good
All
stamina.
over the country, where major controversies and at times public unrest
All right, I should probably turn this
broken
off
out
now.
in response to police killings of African Americans. In the St. Louis
That's
area,
just
we
game
saw
audio.
Ferguson, Missouri go up like a cauldron there.
Dr.
after the killing
Robotnik's
of
socially
a
aware
teenager named
bean
Michael
machine.
Brown. In Chicago, it was dash cam footage
Oops.
of a 17-year-old named Laquan McDonald being shot 16 times by a Chicago police officer. In Cleveland, it was first just the story and then some...
I will get banned again. I don't want that. Oh, I gotta write a paper. Dude. Yeah, the Trump thing in Chicago. You know what? I bet it's gonna come to life that was all a publicity stunt. That's what word on the street is. He made this claim about it, oh, well, the police were warning us about potential whatever, and we called them to see, you know, how it was, if any sort of demonstration was shaping up. And then the reporters get in contact with the Chicago police, and they say, actually, no, the Trump campaign never talked about us. Also, Trump was never there. So, word on the street is that they knew it would incite some sort of unrest, and it was just sort of like the staged thing, just for media attention. But who can say? Yeah, actually, Trump doesn't actually exist. Oh, no, not Tim never got... Well, no, not Tim did get banned once, but that's unrelated. Aren't they blaming the Sanders supporter? I don't... Probably... I saw a couple Bernie signs in the crowd when I watched. I don't know. Can we start a new country? I already did. It's in my mind. You're not invited. Unless you could fit. Like that one Rugrats episode when they shrink and go inside Chucky to take the watermelon seed out. If you can do that, then you're welcome. only midnight. It feels way later than that. I took a synaptic physiology exam today. It was really hard, and I feel like a moron, but there was pizza, so I guess it's alright. It was really hard, though. It was also like 4 hours. Oh, what a nightmare. I need a purple. I need a purple. Damn it. Damn it. No! Not supposed to go off yet. It's more than just synapse. It's a question I didn't know anything about, and it was one of the big questions. I don't even want to look up the answer because I'm worried it's, like, super obvious. But I don't know if I could find it. I'm worried that if I look this up, I'm gonna kick myself for not writing a better answer. Oh, damn it. Oh, I can't access this full text. What is... I can only see the abstract. Oh, it's the Rawl model! I knew it had to do with this stupid thing. Oh, that's right, the half... Ugh. Man, I remember that. I forgot what neuronal shape indices were. I know it's like, oh, well, it's kind of how, you know, the general response looks and the peaks and the delay and whatnot involved and, you know, the width of VM and whatnot, but like, oh, I forgot the units. I said something like ridiculous. Oh no, actually no, I said something that's, in retrospect, probably obvious and also wrong. It's like, oh, millivolts per second or something, but I have no idea. I mean, the general consensus is that it was a pretty difficult exam, so whatever. Worst comes to worst, I'll just become a full-time streamer. Then I don't have to learn anything. Except how to yell into a microphone, and I can already do that. Ah! That'll be $50, please. I'll be fine if the class is I don't know if it is. I haven't had a class in grad school semi-recently that wasn't a take-home test. Oh, yeah, and the final insult. After we took this exam that was 4 hours, they say, oh, one of the professors didn't hand in a question, so you're gonna have a take-home question as well. It's like, oh, come on! Come on! What else do you have to ask us? I mean, at least I know that's a point I will get right, but like, stop making this test longer. Ah. Well, if all I did was stream and not do, like, other side stuff, internet or otherwise, I don't think that'd be a particularly fun life. I could be a bootleg PewDiePie. But I don't have the accent. I'm not foreign enough. It's my greatest shame. I wish I were more foreign, but I'm not. Greens, greens, greens. I have to amp up my New Jersey side. I don't have a New Jersey side. Thankfully. That part of me never existed. Trespasser is not a New Jersey thing, that's just me being unable to read. People with accents from around the country would say trespasser. Also, I hardly ever say water. That has been all but completely eradicated. It's water forever, the end. Yes, that part of me died in that tanker 2 years ago. I have a question. Why do people like Metal Gear Solid 2 so much? I mean, it's not bad. It's just kind of dumb. And Metal Gear Solid 3 is way better. Man, Metal Gear Solid 3 is so good. I want to go and replay that. Because Raiden is a QT. Because meme seems to be the right answer. I mean, it plays well. I just don't know why it's got this cult following because the internet, when the sequel came out and was a way better game. And you know it. Damn it. You know what I wanted to replay? Metal Gear Solid 4. I watched the movie, which is to say all the cutscenes that somebody uploaded on YouTube. But I watched those cutscenes and realized I don't remember anything about this game. Like, Snake is old, and I didn't like that, so the instant I got the camo to make him look young again, he wore it forever. Everybody's old. Sonny cooks eggs and just shouts off numbers every now and then. And then they just go back to every single place in the series so you can be all, Metal Gear again. Remember this? Remember changing the disc? Metal Gear. I also remember being really, really bad at Metal Gear Online. Whereas somebody that I used to talk to, who used to post a lot on a game forum I was on, was invited to Japan to play in the finals. I just feel like Metal Gear Solid 4 was kind of forgettable. But I do want to go back and replay that one day. I mean, I have the PS3 here. I could probably swing it because I do have a copy at home. Also, I don't know if that's the war has changed or war never changes game. One of them is Fallout and one of them is Metal Gear Solid, and I don't remember which is which anymore. think its war has changed. I don't actually remember. War never changes is Fallout. Okay. Got it. Metal Gear Solid 5 was so good, and then I kept playing it, and it kind of stopped being that. Man, Metal Gear Solid 5. That was so good until it stopped being good. It's amazing how good the framework was. And how it just pooped out. Like, please, Konami, just release a load of story DLC. That's fine. I don't care. I will buy all of it. Just please sell it. That's all I want. I want more reasons to have my helicopter come in blasting "She blinded me with science" as I'm shooting a whole bunch of dudes. That's what I want. I want Pequod to fly in with some dude shooting people from the turret, blasting Thomas Dolby. That's the defining moment of the game for me. And every time that happened, it was always funny. They don't care about my desires. Yeah, they just care about pachinko and erotic violence action, or whatever that Castlevania thing is. Maybe it was just erotic violence and I added the action in. As I often do. But I just remember, like, Metal Gear Solid 4 feeling kinda like 5, just sort of a little bit more unrefined. But I don't know. It had an iPod in it. Actually, speaking of, I think I always wanted to replay Metal Gear Solid 4 because they had, like, director's commentary on the iPod that you could have listened to. I don't know if it's actually interesting, but whatever. Like, I struggle to remember a lot of the plot points of Metal Gear Solid 5, though. Like, I remember things that happened. I remember, you know, going to the oil rig and finding a bunch of dead people in the ocean, and Miller being really shocked about that, but I don't really remember the relevance to the plot for that. It might have just been vocal cord parasites or something. I just remember thinking, yeah, the store's gonna open up. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. No, it didn't. I mean, you should play it if you haven't played it, because it's, as a game, as a thing that you play, it's really good. As a culmination of the story, especially if you're a fan of the series, like I am, not exactly. That'd be cool, a yellow and a purple. Yellow and a purple. Fine, just give me the purple. We'll deal with it. Yellow and a red. Yellow and a red. Yellow. Give me a red. Give me a red. Give me a red. Thank you. Oh no, really? I thought that was gonna go way farther. God, the stupid psychic kid was the worst. Like, I got why it was there, but it just... Every single time anything with it happened, it just felt like such a lazy cop-out. Hey, we're about to go and do things to kill the bad guy. It's all gonna work out perfectly. Oh no. Now somebody stopped all the bullets in midair out of nowhere, and also nobody sees him. And it's just, oh, come on. Great. You just ruined this. You could have had something exciting happen to stop the good thing from working out, but you just have some magical, fanciful thing that's never really all that well explained come in and interrupt everybody's plans. Because, like, after the game ended, I just remember thinking a lot of, like, wait, did I miss that? Like, they never talked about that, right? Right? No. Like, if it had gotten explained or something better at one point in the game, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad, but, like, it never was. And I just sat there thinking, like, am I dumb? Did I miss something? Did I forget how to read? Because, I mean, I played this thing for, like, 10-hour stretches when it came out. It might be my fault, but... Why are there no greens? There we go. But I really don't remember any of this. I don't even remember who the Cobra unit was. Oh, the Metal Gear Solid 3 ones. Yeah. With the man with the power to control bees. That's a good power. Was it explained at the end of the game? After I beat the game, I never loaded it back up to listen to any of the endgame story stuff. I'm probably missing out, but also, I can't be bothered. I'm afraid it'll make me yearn for what could have been. It's like an hour of tapes. Yeah, I heard. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Actually, no, I probably did load it up afterwards. I remember shooting some dudes just for the hell of it. But it's like, what am I gonna do with these tapes? Normally they were great because it was like, alright, I'm just gonna drive to my next destination for an hour and listen to the tapes, and I love them. But then it's like, well, the game's over. Nah. Now I just have time that I don't need to spend in the game. Man, what a missed opportunity that game was. Although I will say, the intro to that game was mind-blowing. like the very first scene, oh man, that rocked my face off. Just having been kind of out of the loop on what new video games were like and what graphics were like at this point, and then playing it on new hardware and realizing, like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know things looked like this.